Yeah, so this is a 1 kVA solar installation, and these are the materials needed for this installation. This is a 100 amps solar panel rather, and here we have branch cables for connecting two or more solar panels. As you can see here, we have a 100 watts solar panel, 100 watts. We have two here that we are going to be connecting together, and this is a drilling machine for testing what we are going to do. This is an inverter. This is a 1 kVA inverter, and this is also a 1000 watts inverter. These two inverters can actually do the same job. The only difference is that this a small inverter does not have a transformer, and while this big one has a transformer. This is a charge controller for this job, and these are the cables we are going to be needing for this job. As you continue with this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Yeah, so these are the materials needed for this installation. Here we have a tester, here the middle one, here we have a plier, and this is a star screwdriver. So these are the materials needed for this installation. So the first thing we want to quickly do now is to connect the inverter and the 100 amps battery. This inverter also is a 12 volts inverter system, including this is a 12 volts inverter system, and this is a 12 volts, because whatever you are using must be equal to the battery you are using must be equal to the inverter. If you are using a 24 volts battery for a 12 volts inverter, it's going to damage it, so it must be equal. So this is a 12 volts inverter, and this is a 12 volts battery as well. So it's just a simple connection. The most important thing is that you watch the polarity of the battery. Positive must go to positive, and the negative must go to negative. Yeah, I have an assistant here with me, and he's going to be doing the connection job. So make sure the polarity is correct. So the positive has been connected. As you can see, this is the red wire coming from the inverter, and this is the negative wire as well coming from the inverter. Once you want to install plug the second leg of the inverter, you are going to hear a spark. You don't need to be afraid. There's going to be a small spark, and you can now connect. You can watch it. Okay. You can now connect it. For any connection you are doing, always make sure that the screw is being tightened firmly. It should tighten the cables firmly, and now we want to test the supply of the inverter. Yeah, so it is important you note that there are three ways by which you can charge back your battery. What a battery does is that it saves, or it stores power. It stores energy for you to use on your inverter. What inverter does is that it converts 20 direct current to alternating current. So the inverter will convert the direct current on the battery to an alternating current for your home appliances that uses 220 volts. So you want to, this is an extension box here, and I'm going to be connecting the extension box to this inverter. Okay, it has been connected. Now I want to plug a TV with it. So yeah, you can plug the TV. Okay, So there is a power on button here on the inverter. You plug it, and now the TV is on. Okay, the TV is on, but because there is a there's a there is ray, let me just take the TV to where there is no ray so that you can see. Okay, let me change the source. The TV is actually on. Well, you can see it's because we are inside the sun. That's why you seems to be like you cannot see. Okay, let's test it with a bulb. Let's test. Yeah, so the TV has been disconnected because of the ray of the sun, and then now I want to test this bulb. As you can see, this is the extension of the this is the plug of the extension box, and now all I need to do is power it from here, and you see the light bulb coming up. You can see. So that's the light bulb over there. It's not actually blinking, but because of the ray of the sun, that's why you can see it blinking. So these are the two solar panels that we shall be using for this job. It's also a 12-volt solar panel. Everything must be in line with themselves. We have a 12-volt inverter, we have a 12-volt battery, and we have 12-volt solar panel here as well. So I'm going to be connecting these two 12-volt solar panel now. So we are going to be using what is known as a parallel connection, and parallel connection increases the amps of the solar panel, while a series connection will increase the voltage. So just like I said earlier, we have a 12-volt inverter, we have a 12-volt battery, and we have two solar panels of 12 volts as well. So you can see, if we say we want to add this plus this, the two solar panels together, is going to give us 24 volts. But we are going to connect it in such a way that we are going to connect it in a parallel manner, so that it's going to remain the 12 volts we said earlier. Yeah, so this is a solar panel, and here, just like I said, your polarity is very important. Here we have the positive cable, the positive, you will see red here, the positive, and the second one we have the negative cable, which is here, the negative. So those are the two cables we have to connect our solar panel. So these are the branch cables we are going to be needing for this job. First of all, you pick up the two negative cables. Pick up your two negative cables. So here is the negative cable. You can see the negative, and this is the negative cable for the other end. So you pick up the branch connector and you plug it in, the negative and the negative. So we've picked up these two branch connectors, and you can see now we've turned two wires into just one mouth. That's the implication of what we are doing. Two wires have become one mouth, has become just one wire. So the second one, you pick up the positive connection cable, and you pick up the positive connection cable as well. Then you pick up the branch connectors, the branch connector, you plug it in, and you plug it in. So you can see now that for the two for the four cables we have running from the solar panel, we can see that we now have just two mouths now. So that's the importance. So this is a series connection. There is also, and which will remain just 12 volts, as you can see, 12 volts inverter, 12 volt battery, and the solar panels, although they are two, but they are still 12 volts. There is a way we can make a parallel connection which will increase it to 24 volts, but for the purpose of this video installation, it should be 12 volts. So this is it. Here now we have the positive, and here we have the negative. As you can see, this is the positive cable. Let's trace it down to this place. You can see positive. So the positive, trace it down to this place. You can see positive. This is the cable we need for this job, as you can see, and our solar panels have been connected already. Make sure your solar panel is facing directly facing the sun. So we are going to make sure that these two solar panels are facing the sun directly now. Okay, so we've connected this. This is a black wire, which is the negative, and this is a blue wire, which is the positive. So you pick up your positive cable, you plug it into your installation wire, then you pick up the negative cable and you also plug it into the installation cable. So this is the installation cable here, and now we are going to go to our charge controller. Okay, this is a 12 volts charge controller, 12 volts and 24 volts charge controller. It has 30 amps capacity. So this is a charge controller, is a PWM charge controller. So you can see this side is for the solar panel. This side you can see the picture of a battery, and this side is for a 12 volt bulb, but we are not really using this side now, so we just need to use our 12 volt solar panel, and this is the where we are going to connect our solar panel to, and this is where we are going to connect our battery, our 12 volts battery to. What a charge controller does is that it regulates the whatever sun that is coming from the solar panel. It will be regulated to 12 volts before it enters into the battery. So, and what a solar panel does is that it charges the battery. So that is it. Yeah, so this is the cable coming from the battery. You make sure that your polarities are correct, and you plug it in the positive side and the negative side. This is the positive side, and make sure the wires are not touching themselves, because that could be dangerous for not just the solar panel now, but also the charge controller. So now the battery has been connected to the charge controller, and you can see that the battery is now charging. So this is a charge controller, and this is a charge controller, and you can see that the battery is charging, although the sun is going down already. So that is why you can see that it's not really charging that fast. So the same connection you did to this is applicable to this as well. You can see. Now let me just on the bulb again. For you to see. Okay. So it's actually a stable light, but because of the camera is kind of shaky, but it's a stable light. And in the next video there is going to be a video of how you can connect your inverter to the house. Then these are the charging. You have three ways in which you can charge your battery. You can charge by your generator. You can charge with your electricity light as well. All you need to do is just plug this cable to your electricity and you'll be able to charge.